Okay, guys, you're welcome again, and this is another event which it started early in the morning, and it keeps still going on. So we decided to bring you take it, maybe stream it live for you guys to know what exactly is happening. So just around this morning, that was 8:30 a.m. That is North Pacific time. 8:30 a.m. there was severe thunderstorm warning, possible tornado. So this was what was released by the weather. This was National Weather Service which issued this. That was early in the morning. So there was this thunderstorm warning which was given. By 8 a.m. Wednesday, at least 9 SIG alerts had been issued in, that is in LA around due to road incidents. Officials are constantly urging motorists to drive safely or avoid travel altogether if possible. So that was early in the morning. Now just around like an hour, around 9:30 or 9:30, there was another issue of warning again, and this was highly possible, like highway 2 impassable. So that around that side it was very risky. So authorities had to close it, hide the highway even down because the mud was so much, was too much. So from the National Weather Service, when you look at the reportage and also the data that they were bringing was very tough. So road totals through 9 a.m. So it was so serious. So what I will do here is mountain road closure. So heavy rain and mud flows prompted officials to close several major mountain roads Wednesday, that morning. So a lot of roads were closed. So SR 138 in San Bernardino County between the 15 freeway and Berkeley Road were also closed as well. So a lot of like roads were closed this early this morning. And LADWP outages like around the place in so the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power is reporting thousands of outages across its service. That was this early morning. So this was all happening in the morning, and with the state governor, that is the Governor Newsom, had to speak. So Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency late Wednesday morning due to atmospheric rivers, intense rainfall, and strong winds ahead. The state of emergency declaration covers Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego County. So that was in the morning. That was when the Governor Newsom declared this state of emergency around that side. And 5 freeway flooded. So it got to around in the morning after Wednesday afternoon, they had to close the 5 freeway because it was really flooded. And somewhere in the afternoon, evacuation order for LA neighborhood. So part of Sunland to Junga neighborhood of Los Angeles is under a mandatory evacuation order. So authorities announced early Wednesday afternoon that residents of the Riverwood community needed to leave their homes immediately, and that officers would be going door to door to let them know of that evacuation. So evacuation order was given, and people had to just move out. So that was it. What I would do is just go straight to some of the details or some of the videos that came in earlier before we move on to some of the news that we want to watch. So let's go to our partners from KCR who reported earlier that they started the reporting that's early in the morning. So let's take listen to some of the videos.
Downpours, damaging winds and snow making today a KCRA 3 weather alert.
Came down pretty hard overnight. Video from one driver this morning shows just how hard it was to see through all of that rain.
In Carmichael, strong winds knocked over a large redwood tree right through power lines and onto a house. It happened on Cedarhurst Way near Manzanita around 4 in the morning. The people who live there are out of town. Nobody was hurt.
Also snowing pretty hard in the Sierra, which is great news, of course, for ski resorts, but not so much for drivers. Chain controls are in effect on I-80, Highway 50, and Highway 88, and we're tracking the snow and rain right now, and the winds are expected to pick back up again later tonight.
We have live team coverage for you on the impact of the storm across the region. We begin with meteorologist Heather Waldman and a thunderstorm moving over the station right now.
Yeah, just within the last few minutes, we could hear the rain on the rooftop here. We've got thunder, we've got lightning, gust of wind, but really it's all about the downpours. You can see this moving from south to north right into downtown Sacramento, so this could last for a little bit. Get ready for some water to start to pond up in the streets in the Midtown grid. Lightning just to the west of the Parkway area. Heavy rain along 160 down I-5. Clarksburg is getting soaked with that heavy rain right now. Here's a closer look at downtown Sacramento, kind of in between the heaviest of the rain, but more is coming here as we go through the next 30 minutes or so. You head eastbound on 50, you'll run into that heavy thunderstorm in Rancho Cordova. This stretches northward into Folsom, Granite Bay, up towards Loomis and Auburn as well. So that line is very slowly going to work its way northward. Back up to the Sierra we go. This is a live look at Highway 50. There goes a plow, but it's going to be slow going for the next couple of days. We're going to see rounds of this heavy snow likely through the day on Friday. Snow level right now is down around 5,000 feet. It's going to drop further as we go through tomorrow and into Friday. Chain controls on 80, 50, and 88. These are the latest updates from Caltrans, and there's the delays. Everything in red. That's pretty much bumper-to-bumper traffic from just uphill from Blue Canyon all the way over into Truckee and Tahoe City. Similar delays there from Kybers up into South Lake Tahoe along Highway 50. Here goes this line of storms. Futurecast doing an okay job with that by 8 p.m. That's going to be replaced by this band moving in from the west. And this is when we're going to be watching the wind picking up as well. Another big line of storms coming through very early on Christmas morning. So if your kids don't wake you up early enough for presents, the weather very well could. I'll be back with a closer look at the winds we're expecting tonight in a few minutes.
All right, Heather, thank you. And the red on the traffic map Heather just showed you coincides with the chain requirements on all the major passes right now, including 50 and 80.
KCRA 3 Cecil Hannibal is in Live Tracker 3 on Interstate 80 right now. I know you're tracking the conditions, so Cecil, what are you seeing out there on the roads?
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Growing up,
guys, things are been picking up as we headed further towards the Sierra. Right now we're on I-80 West heading back towards Sacramento, but we spent the day driving east, and we can tell you that the roads are definitely full of snow, and they're wet, and there's a lot of snow coming down. It really started to pick up once we hit the Blue Canyon area. I want to show you this right here so you can see what we're looking at. Again, this is I-80 West. You can see for yourself. These roads they don't look pretty good for us as we're driving right now. We've been trying to take things very, very slow. We've been going about 20 miles an hour, and in fact we had to, because things really started to take a turn once we hit that Blue Canyon area. We have seen, in fact, a car spin out as we were driving eastbound earlier this evening. So it's really important to take things slow right now. Again, we are driving slow. If you're heading out the door, if you're trying to commute towards the Sierra, or even coming from the Sierra back to Sacramento, make sure you take your time on the road. Right now, Caltrans says they are in active storm mode. Crews are out plowing roads to make sure that they're clear. And once we hit the immigrant cap, seeing people.
Okay, we're having a tough time with the signal right now, but you can see the story right there on Interstate 80, right near the Highway 20 turnoff where Cecil was. We certainly have snow falling right now. Now, the weather has forced the Imaginarium in Sacramento to close tonight. Livecopter 3 was over Cal Expo earlier today, and organizers, the Holiday Light Show, encourage people check the social media pages or the website. They will put the updates there.
And the weather, again, the big story with more on how strong the winds could be tonight. We want to send it back to meteorologist Heather Waldman. So are we going to see what we saw overnight here?
Yeah, well, right now that wind is picking up, so we are seeing some of the trees. You can see those burned trees swaying right now. We're also seeing downed trees down here on the road along rural areas where the 2021 Caldor fire already burned. Residents tell me that this has become an inconvenience. I mean, you can see this truck driving through just a little bit more slowly. This becomes an inconvenience because sometimes the roads are partially or fully blocked, but they also say that this can turn into a serious safety hazard. Now, today we tagged along with two longtime Grizzly Flats residents. They spent the morning driving around town, assessing damage themselves. They say that there is a common problem. You know, often they're left to clear debris like what we're seeing out here themselves. And the biggest concern comes on days like this one where we're seeing wet and windy.
So this was in the afternoon. This was early in the morning. Pardon me. So what I'll do next is I'll go straight to what was happening. Some of the areas. This was somewhere in the afternoon. So you will take this from our partners, also from NBCL, so that they will also give us that side of the coverage as well.
Annabelle is off today. Heavy debris flows and flooding are creating a dire situation in Wrightwood. The Wild Horse Canyon area is under an evacuation order. A look at all the mud and water flowing through the Wrightwood neighborhood. Cabins you can see partially submerged there. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says they've been conducting door-to-door checks to make sure residents have evacuated in those hard-hit areas. They're telling everyone else to shelter in place and avoid any unnecessary travel. Highway 2, it's closed between Elm and Twins Lakes Road. A reception and care center is up and running at Serrano High School in Phelan for anyone who needs shelter. The 5 freeway is now shut down in both directions at Lankershim and Sun Valley. Drivers were trapped for hours there this morning, and the situation now even worse. You can see we've got cars being diverted off the freeway in that area because of the flooded roadway. And a live look at the area as crews work overtime to pump water off that freeway. NBC4's Tracy Leong headed that way now. She'll bring us the latest updates on the closure and how you can get around it. That's coming up on the NBC4 News at 4. Meanwhile, the 5 freeway in Pacoima at the 118, it's now back open after a FedEx truck carrying thousands of pounds of packages crashed. It caused a major backup on the freeway. The CHP had to close all lanes for hours. That crash happened just before 3:30 this morning. We're told the driver is okay. No other cars were involved in the crash, and the cause is still under investigation. The governor issued a state of emergency across LA, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties because of this storm. You can scan the QR code you see there on the lower left side of your screen to connect directly to our First Alert radar network. It is the same technology meteorologist Stephanie Olmo is using to track your First Alert forecast. And let's turn to Stephanie right now for the very latest.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. Make sure to scan the QR code, download the app for more information. Of course, you have access to the radar. Right behind me, I have this quick look of the LA River just outside of our building. You see it's filling up with water. It's been pretty swollen throughout much of the day today because of all that rain continuing to rush down. Let's go over the First Alert radar network, where we're looking at some widespread activity still continuing, but finally catching a break in Ventura County and at least the western portion of LA County. Still some light showers, pretty scattered, but the bulk of it is now pressing into Ontario, Riverside, down to Orange County. Checking out a tighter view some of these areas, you see some of the oranges and some of the reds, for example. Some areas are looking at high rainfall rates upwards, getting close to an inch per hour in some of these spots, especially right near Ontario, for example, Crestline as well. Down to Orange County, looking at moderate rain. You're seeing some of the darker greens, some of the yellows, for example, an indication of moderate to pockets of heavy rain. But yet again, as I mentioned, we're catching a brief break here for Ventura County and throughout portions of LA County for right now. A reminder, we do have a flash flood warning, or warnings that remain in effect across much of the region until 6 o'clock here this evening, still causing some issues out there. We'll continue to time out this storm here shortly. For now, over to you, Carolyn.
All right, we'll check back with you shortly, Stephanie. Our team coverage continues now with Amber Frias in Yucaipa. And Amber, this storm has brought some heavy rain and gusty winds to many mountain communities.
Hey, Carolyn, that's right. Here in Yucaipa, it's been raining pretty consistently throughout most of the afternoon. Right now, we're seeing pretty moderate rain. We're also seeing some wind. We hadn't seen wind all day long until now. But like you mentioned, we're seeing severe conditions across different mountain communities. So really, everybody's experiencing something different. We were in Forest Falls, also Oakland this morning. They were seeing some rain, but no significant issues to report there this morning. Now, over in Wrightwood, they are seeing severe flooding. We've seen those videos, and we have more of that to show you. Take a look. The Christmas Eve storm turned parts of Highway 2 in Wrightwood into a river of mud and debris, trapping at least one car in the runoff. Videos shared on social media by the public and fire officials show mud, rocks, and rushing rainwater overtaking part of the highway, flooding homes and leaving destruction behind. In Hesperia and North Desert areas, San Bernardino County officials say crews were dispatched to rescue people trapped in cars, responding to an increase in swift water rescue calls. But over the Cajon Pass, nearly 70 miles southeast, the storm told a very different story.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Brian Maloney and his neighbor Jeremy Alfred took advantage of a break in the rain to walk their dogs. Both men say they prepared for the storm ahead of time.
Grocery shopping and some water.
Yeah, I was hoping it would snow, but not rain, but I hope it'll stay like this the rest of the time.
In Oak Glen, calm came with concern.
Lack of sleep, I'll tell you that. You know, the anticipation of what's going on here, especially Christmas Eve.
Oscar Solano, who owns Solano Orchard, says runoff has flooded his property before, and today he's watching closely.
Yeah, we have about a 30 guest list, and half of them are, worried. They're calling me and saying, should we really go up there?
Across the San Bernardino Mountains, dramatically different experiences, from chaos to calm. But tonight, many are hoping for the same. A break in the rain, and a quiet Christmas Eve where all is calm and all is bright. Now, just like you mentioned, Carolyn, about an hour ago, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department issued a shelter-in-place order for people living in Wrightwood because of these conditions. There are also people in that community who have been given evacuation warnings. These are people living in the area of Pine Street all the way to the LA County line. And for those people that do choose to evacuate, there is a care center that has been established at Serrano High School. Now, we will keep monitoring conditions and continue to update you through the afternoon if anything changes. But for now, live in Yucaipa, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
Amber, thank you. And our team coverage continues now. We want to bring in Keenan Willard. He is live for us in the Altadena area with the situation there. Keenan.
Yeah, Carolyn, we are in front of Sedeka, a boutique in downtown Altadena. You can imagine their frustration because they were closed for most of this year in the wake of the Eaton fire. Look what they are doing today in the wake of this Christmas Eve storm. They've got dryers inside the boutique here, very wet floors, and they are trying to recover after a flooding event here months after they already had to shut their doors.
The worst kind of Christmas Eve surprise. When employees arrived at Sedeka Boutique in Altadena Wednesday, they found part of the roof collapsing under the weight of heavy rain.
Walk in and just 4 inches of water from front to back.
The cell phone video from the shop shows employees trying to get the water out of the business, and they say many of their items are now damaged beyond repair. Sedeka was closed for nearly 10 months after the Eaton fire and just reopened its doors in November.
We're just overwhelmed, to be honest. You know, we just opened. We just worked so hard to get back in business and redid the entire shop, all the product, all the furniture.
Now, Mother Nature is leaving the future uncertain once again.
It's really emotional, really, because the 1 year is coming up too, and we wanted to be here for the run.
Despite a second setback, the owner says Sedeka will reopen stronger than ever.
Now it's going to take us a while to get back again, but we're going to do it, I think.
Now, they are not working to get back on their feet alone. Coming up at 4 o'clock, how this Altadena community, so resilient, is working to support them in their journey to reopen their doors for a second time. That's coming up at 4 o'clock in downtown Altadena. Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
To you at 4. We want to bring in NBC4's Alex Rozier right now. He is driving along PCH with a look at the road conditions there for us. Alex.
Hey, Carolyn. Yeah, things have really
So these
improved
are
here. We just want to show you the road
looks,
right now on Pacific Coast Highway. We're not
after
seeing any
the first
rain,
pour that
which
happened
is
in the
welcome
morning,
at
and
this
also when the
moment. After a
evacuation
lot of it
warning
this
was in
morning, there
effect.
was some
So
flash
that's
flooding that
what
we
we
saw.
currently you are
But for the
seeing.
most part, not
From here,
any
we would also
significant damage. You can see the
give you
steep
another
slopes
video of
that are
what
right
really
next to
happened
us
there
here.
just around
And
5
that could
p.m.
be
this
a big
afternoon.
problem if one of those slopes were to give way. But we had a chance to check out a bit of everything in Scar.
On the Pacific Coast, rain falls on the homes burned in the Palisades fire. A stormy Christmas Eve at the end of a long year.
At Topanga Canyon and PCH, crews shut down Topanga Canyon Boulevard. You can see in the distance the potential for slides, though so far today we have not heard of any significant damage.
This is what it looked like on Sunset Boulevard in the Palisades this morning. A mail carrier continued their work as rain covered parts of the roadway.
And we also returned to Las Flores Canyon Road in Malibu, a road that has dealt with flooding in the past. Today you can see that there's water on the roadway, and neighbors here have put sandbags outside their homes.
So we just don't want the waters to keep rising.
I saw Lynn Beeler on Las Flores Canyon Road today.
It's a jade plant, and we want to take good care of it. It brings good luck.
She's the owner of Malibu Bungalows. She's really hoping for no flooding or slides, especially because her business already had to shut down for 3 months this year after a February storm made a muddy mess.
It was really rough. If you see the photos or the videos, you'll see.
So now she's keeping an eye on the creek.
I don't want the water to rise all the way and over the bridge like it did in February, because then I get water on this side of my property, because I'm right against the creek. It's just Mother Nature. She's doing her thing, and we just got to kind of work with her, you know?
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Merry Christmas, everybody. And happy holidays and a happy new year.
And as we come back out here on Pacific Coast Highway, you can see some of the greens in the hillside. One thing about the rains, it brought out some of the color there, but we are still worried about the slides that may happen. So far, so good, but, you know, Caltrans and the officials there have urged people to stay off the roads. You can see right now that it is pretty quiet here. A lot of drivers staying off the road, or maybe they're at the mall, but they're not here on Pacific Coast Highway. But it is a break from the rain for now, and I think a lot of people welcome that on this Christmas Eve. Carolyn, we'll send it back into you.
Yeah, that is certainly good to see.
So that was a report from that end. What I'll do is I have 2 more videos that I'll show you, and again, let me see if I could get this this, oh shit, let me see if I could get, okay, so just around in the afternoon, around 5, this was a report from NBCLA, the report that they gave. Yeah, so this is it.
Mud flow, power outages, that is what we've had across Southern California today. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Cal.
Flood warning in effect for LA, Santa Barbara, and Ventura counties until 6 tonight. Governor Newsom issued a state of emergency across LA, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties earlier because of the storm.
Here's a look from 6 of our cameras all across the county. More rain expected tonight and tomorrow as well. You can always scan the QR code on your screen to connect directly to the First Alert Radar Network and get the quickest updates sent directly to your phone.
We have team coverage across Southern California for you tracking this storm, but we begin with meteorologist Kelly Moody with a look at the current conditions out there. Kelly.
Thanks, Carolyn. We're taking a look right now at your current radar, where you can see we've kind of gotten a bit of a dry break, which is good news. Still some leftover scattered showers. More of this moisture continuing to push into the Inland Empire along I-10 heading toward Palm Springs. Up in Big Bear, we can see some very light snow showers happening for our area mountains, but for the most part, this has been all rain, and boy, has has it been busy. Now, as Carolyn and Kathy mentioned, there is a flash flood warning that remains in effect with us until 6 p.m. But even as this expires, we still have a flood watch that remains in effect through your Friday afternoon. Our flash flood warning indicating to us that there is a high likelihood that you could run into potential issues with this flooding, especially if you're out on the roadways. And of course, we're dealing with one of the busiest travel times of the year. So continue to exercise lots of caution, because even though things are going to start to break up a little bit, get a little bit drier for us, another round of rain is expected. So let's walk through our timeline here for you so you have an idea of what's to come. As we continue with our Christmas Eve, we continue to run that higher risk of potential flooding. But looking ahead at your Christmas morning, that's when things are going to continue to stay pretty dry and scattered. We'll see some light showers coming on through, with a bigger wave of moisture expected to push on through after that as we head into your Christmas afternoon. It's that wave that is expected to bring more widespread moisture, but it does stay pretty focused on the LA County area. Some spots could easily pick up an extra inch to 2 inches as we look ahead toward Christmas afternoon into the evening, and then continuing on after that point into your Friday. So still plenty of rain to come, even though we are starting to see a little bit of a break in the action. We are going to continue to track those conditions for you as we head through the rest of this evening. Again, one more look at your First Alert radar network. You can see again all of that moisture continuing to push on out. This is a loop from the last 3 hours. We're left behind with much calmer conditions, but we know that there's still plenty of rain to come, so we'll be tracking it for you. Carolyn, Kathy.
All right, we'll see you again soon, Kelly. We're now approaching hour 3 of a full closure on the 5 freeway in Sun Valley, and you can see why. Flooding in both directions, still covering nearly all lanes there.
NBC4's Tracy Leong is live there with how things are looking right now. Tracy, any better?
Yeah, a lot better, Kathy and Carolyn. They're making significant progress. You can see there's these large pumps below here on the 5 freeway. And in the past 2 hours, they've been able to clear water on 2 of the lanes on the southbound side. So you can see just one of those lanes is partially covered by water right now. Both directions of the 5 freeway, they are still shut down because they are working to get this completely cleared, at least on the south side here at Lankershim Boulevard. The road started to flood early this morning. That consistent heavy rain overwhelmed the drains, and it turned this freeway into a lake. Caltrans crews had to reroute traffic at Lankershim southbound exit, and drivers then had to take surface streets before they were allowed to get back on. And cars can get on the 5 northbound side at Lankershim because it is just flooded in this section, which is right underneath the overpass. But if you're headed north before this exit, be prepared to get off at Tuxford. Drivers we spoke to, they were caught off guard, and some were stuck in the gridlock for hours.
This happened 2 years ago. It gets flooded right there. And 2 years ago, the same thing. A car went in there, got stuck, and we're stuck here for a long time.
Again, there's no timeline on when the 5 freeway will reopen at this section in Lankershim, but pretty significant progress that we've seen, at least with the southbound side getting cleared. It looks like maybe another hour and the south side should be cleared. But for now, drivers should take alternate routes and plan ahead. Reporting live in Sun Valley, Tracy Leong, NBC4 News.
Tracy, thank you. Right now, there are mandatory evacuation orders in Orange County for the Trabuco Creek, Bell, and Hot Springs Canyon communities.
NBC4's Hetty Chang is live in Trabuco Canyon now, where there are concerns of mudslides and debris flows. Hetty.
Yeah, Carolyn and Kathy, good evening to you. We just got an update from county officials here in Orange County. They tell us that those mandatory evacuation orders that we just talked about right now for Trabuco Creek and Hot Springs Canyon, as well as Bell Canyon, those are going to be lifted by 6 o'clock tonight, so in less than an hour. And the road we're standing on here, Trabuco Canyon Road, that's going to be reopened as well. But we want to talk about why there's always a concern here anytime it rains. Just up that hillside is the Airport Fire burn scar area. It burned 22,000 acres last year. And so you take a look at Trabuco Creek here, there's always that potential for mud flow and debris.
We have keepsakes, always locked up and ready to go. And then we have a whole routine in place as far as where we're going, who goes where. But for the most part, we usually hunker down.
Todd Morgan loves living in the Orange County canyons, but he knows when it rains, that comes with a price.
So anticipation of the rain. This was done at the last rainfall. So both rooms, but this was The new stuff that we did, we probably did about 150 bags alone yesterday.
The Morgans are hosting a dozen family members for Christmas. His area is not ordered to evacuate yet, but if the rain causes the creek along his backyard to overflow into his house, Morgan says his family,
we have 31 animals.
And all his pets are ready to go.
Put the pigs in there, and then we'll load up the cows. So that's basically, this is where we keep all our evacuation stuff for the animals.
Dozers from Orange County Public Works are out and about today around the canyon roads.
We're clearing out some light mud and debris, small rocks along our canyon roadways, Silverado Canyon, Majeska Canyon, and here in Trabuco Canyon. So we've had crews and equipment staged out here proactively because we knew this was coming with the rainfall.
Everyone keeping a close eye on the burn scar area and the hillsides.
The county tells us 100 to 200 people live near the Trabuco Creek area. Again, the latest from the county, those mandatory evacuation orders that we talked about here, those are going to be lifted at 6 o'clock in less than an hour. We're live from Trabuco Canyon tonight. Hetty Chang, NBC4 News.
Hetty, thank you so much. Right now, look at this flooding and debris flow in San Bernardino County today. This is at Sheep Creek and Phelan Road. CAL FIRE posted the video as a reminder of how quickly debris flows can sweep away cars and cause major damage. Caltrans says both directions of State Route 18 are closed.
Heavy debris flows and flooding created a dire situation in Wrightwood today. The Wild Horse Canyon area is under an evacuation order. And take a look at this video of mud and water flowing through that neighborhood. Cabins there partially submerged. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says they have been conducting door-to-door checks to make sure residents have evacuated. And they've told everyone else in that area to shelter in place and avoid any unnecessary travel.
Grocery shopping and some water.
Yeah, I was hoping it would snow, but not rain, but I hope it'll stay like this the rest of the time.
A reception and care center is up and running at Serrano High School in Phelan for anyone who needs a place to shelter.
Then in Altadena, NBC4's Keenan Willard he's been showing us live the situation there with a store that recently reopened after the Eaton fire. It is now flooded because of all the rain. What a situation. Keenan.
Yeah, Kathy, you said it. I mean, they did everything right here at Sedeka. This is a boutique much beloved by this Altadena community. They were shut down like so many businesses in this area by the Eaton fire. Took 10 months to recover, and then Christmas Eve washes it all away.
This was the inside of the Sedeka boutique in downtown Altadena Wednesday. The shop flooded with water, parts of the ceiling collapsing after overnight storms.
Walk in and just 4 inches of water from front to back. Sadly, I had to call her in, like overwhelming. Yeah, and panic. And I was like, you have to come.
The shop's owner never imagined she would be ending the year like this. In January, Sedeka was severely damaged by the Eaton fire, taking nearly 10 months to reopen its doors in November.
Now it's going to take us a while to get back again, but we're going to do it, I think.
They won't do it alone, though. Word quickly spread, and neighbors and strangers started showing up to help.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Like Eric Jackson, who was visiting family in Altadena for the holidays.
It's about giving back, and Altadena's gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot, my family, my friends.
Sedeka's owner says most of their products and furniture were damaged, and the building will have to be repaired once again. But with a resilient community behind them, they're optimistic.
I'm blessed, in a way, weird way, to have that support from our community, our customers.
Yeah, one of the reasons Sedeka's owner says this hurts so much is she had her heart set on being open next month in January to stand with this Altadena community and mark that 1-year mark since the Eaton fire. They say they're going to do something to be able to really stand with the community and commemorate that date so important in Altadena's history. Here in Altadena, Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
So this was the video that is last but one video, but let me read this. Life-threatening storm slams Southern California on Christmas Eve, evacuations underway. This is by Mario Nawafo on X. 42 million under flood watches. So this is not verified yet, but these are some of the reportages coming up. A powerful atmospheric river is pummeling California with flooding rains that have triggered evacuation orders in Los Angeles area and San Bernardino. The National Weather Service issued a rare high risk of excessive rainfall through Christmas Day, with rainfall rates hitting 0.5 to 1 inch per hour, causing a widespread. What's happening? The first storm brought up to 10 inches of rain in the mountains, 5 inches elsewhere, with winds gusting to 80 miles per hour. Roads across the region are shut. Most of them are shut, but some of them are open as well. A second storm system is expected to bring more showers and possible thunderstorms. So we would also see these sources are from Fox and also Anxious. So these are some of the reportage which is coming up. And I think tomorrow, because the rains are not over yet, we also know that yes, by tomorrow we also get an update on this, because the rains are starting to even gear up. So let's watch this video. That will be our next video, to look at some of the damages, some of the chaos that the flood has caused, and some of the updates that's just about 2 hours ago. That is around 6 p.m. this evening.
Shutting down busy freeways this Christmas Eve. We are live in Sun Valley with an update on the 5 freeway closure.
And all that rain is saturating the ground and dangerous situation, especially in one mountain community now under evacuation.
And we've entered a dry pocket, but we're far from done with the rain. Another round expected for your Christmas Day. I'll have an hour-by-hour track of what you can expect.
This is NBC4 News at 6.
And we begin tonight at 6 with the holiday storm. Most flash flood warnings have now expired. Others are still in place. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
And I'm Kathy Vara. Michael and Colleen have the night off. Well, a wet Christmas is ahead, with the brunt of the storm hitting Southern California today. We have some updates on some of the major areas of concern. Major flooding hit waterways and roadways today. We have new video into our newsroom showing a car being swept into floodwaters in Palmdale. Flooding also forced a temporary closure on the 5 freeway in Sun Valley. And in San Bernardino County, the Wild Horse Canyon area is under an evacuation order after mud and water went flowing through the Wrightwood neighborhood.
We have live team coverage from those areas. Plus, Hetty Chang is in Orange County, where some mandatory evacuation orders have now been lifted. First, though, let's get the latest timeline on the storm from meteorologist Kelly Moody.
That's right. So we're going to take a look first at those flash flood warnings, which honestly have almost all been expired, with the exception of this sliver here that we've got stretching around areas of Crestline. This is for our mountain communities. I might have just seen there that part of this may have already expired a little bit earlier than anticipated. I'll be checking in on this again, but we're likely to see the rest of this expire by 8 p.m., which means we are out of the woods, sort of, for a minute, while we start to watch things dry out just a little bit. There's still some scattered showers out there, not nearly as much action as what we were tracking for you earlier in the day, nor nearly as much action as what I expect for tomorrow. That's right. Another round of rain is coming, and we do still sustain a flash flood risk as we look ahead toward tomorrow. You can see in the red there, these are areas that are considered to have a moderate risk for potential flash flooding. So that's something that we have to monitor as we look ahead toward tomorrow. Rain will taper tonight. I expect some scattered showers for tomorrow morning, followed by more widespread rain for your Thursday afternoon and evening. More rain to come on Friday. We'll be tracking it for you coming up. Carolyn?
Thank you, Kelly. A major update now on the situation in Sun Valley. The 5 freeway now back open in the southbound direction. There is still flooding across those northbound lanes. NBC4's Tracy Leong is there for us. Tracy, much improved now.
Yeah, Carolyn, this is great news for drivers. I mean, it was closed down for hours, but about 45 minutes ago, they opened up 2 lanes on the southbound side. And as you can see, there's these large pumps that are down on the freeway pulling the water from the overwhelmed drains. They're dumping it right here onto the street. When we first arrived about 3 hours ago, both sides were closed, but right now only the northbound side here at Lankershim Boulevard is shut down. The road started to flood early this morning, and that consistent heavy rain overwhelmed the drains, turning the freeway into a lake. Cars can still get on the 5 northbound side at Lankershim because it is just flooded in the section underneath the overpass. But if you're heading north before this exit, be prepared to get off at Tuxford. Drivers we spoke to were caught off guard, and some were stuck in gridlock for hours this morning.
This happened 2 years ago. It gets flooded right there. And 2 years ago, the same thing. A car went in there, got stuck, and we're stuck here for a long time.
Caltrans is still working to get the northbound side cleared. Officials tell us they expect that to happen in the next 3 hours. Reporting live in Sun Valley, Tracy Leong, NBC4 News.
Tracy, thank you. The 5 also closed today in Pacoima at the 118 after a FedEx truck carrying thousands of pounds of packages crashed. It happened just before 3:30 this morning. The driver is okay and no other cars were involved in the crash. The CHP closed all lanes for hours, creating a major backup. All lanes are now back open in that area.
In San Bernardino County, mud and debris swamped streets in Wrightwood. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says they conducted door-to-door checks to make sure residents in danger zones had evacuated.
We continue our team coverage with Amber Frias, who is out in Yucaipa. Amber.
Hey, Kathy, Carolyn. Well, the rain here continues coming down. And I do want to say that in the past hour, we have seen some breaks, finally, because the rain remained constant all afternoon long. Now, these breaks are short-lived. It continues to rain a few minutes after, but at least it's a little bit of a break. The rain is a little bit lighter, but winds have also started picking up here, which make it feel maybe even wetter because it comes right at you. Luckily, we are not seeing any major issues. We haven't seen any reported by authorities in this area, at least. Like you mentioned, in Wrightwood, that community is facing severe flooding. We do have some videos from earlier today. Let's go to that now. The Christmas Eve storm turned parts of Highway 2 in Wrightwood into a river of mud and debris, trapping at least one car in the runoff. Videos shared on social media by the public and fire officials show mud, rocks, and rushing rainwater overtaking part of the highway, flooding homes and leaving destruction behind. In Hesperia and North Desert areas, San Bernardino County officials say crews were dispatched to rescue people trapped in cars, responding to an increase in swift water rescue calls. But over the Cajon Pass, nearly 70 miles southeast, the storm told a very different story.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Brian Maloney and his neighbor Jeremy Alfred took advantage of a break in the rain to walk their dogs. Both men say they prepared for the storm ahead of time.
Grocery shopping and some water.
Yeah, I was hoping it would snow, but not rain, but I hope it'll stay like this the rest of the time.
In Oak Glen, calm came with concern.
Lack of sleep, I'll tell you that. You know, the anticipation of what's going on here, especially Christmas Eve.
Oscar Solano, who owns Solano Orchard, says runoff has flooded his property before, and today he's watching closely.
Yeah, we have about a 30 guest list, and half of them are, worried. They're calling me and saying, should we really go up there?
Across the San Bernardino Mountains, dramatically different experiences, from chaos to calm. But tonight, many are hoping for the same. A break in the rain, and a quiet Christmas Eve where all is calm and all is bright. And there are parts of Wrightwood that are currently under evacuation warnings. Lytle Creek, that is near Wrightwood, they are under mandatory evacuation orders. And for all those who choose to leave their homes, there is a care center that was established at Serrano High School. Reporting live from Yucaipa, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
Amber, thank you. And a reminder not to drive through any floodwaters. This is new video from Hesperia, where a man, you can see there, got caught driving through a flooded area. This is Pico Avenue between Bangor and Buckhorn. And there you see a Good Samaritan backing in with his truck to help rescue that man. And in Santa Clarita, LA County fire crews rescued 4 people stranded in the Santa Clara River. This happened near Railroad Avenue and Magic Mountain Parkway. No major injuries were reported.
Let's turn now to Orange County, where they have just lifted all evacuation orders for areas near the airport fire burn scar.
And this comes just about half an hour ago for people living in the Trabuco Bell and Hot Springs Canyons. Hetty Chang has been there all day for us, and she is live with a look at how things are there now. Hetty, it looks like it's still raining.
It's still raining, but it certainly has tapered off a lot compared to this afternoon, and we're starting to see the results of that now, right? Those mandatory evacuation orders that were in place since 8 o'clock this morning for Trabuco Creek, for Bell Canyon and Hot Springs Canyons, those were just lifted as of 6 p.m. tonight. But we want to give you this look, this live look of Trabuco Creek to tell you that this is why there's always a concern here. This creek is about 1.5 miles to 2 miles from the airport fire burn scar area. That fire burned about 23,000 acres last September. And Carolyn and Kathy, we should tell you that the water flow and the mud flow in this creek, it's a lot higher and stronger compared to when we got here very early this morning. So again, county officials keeping a close eye on this, but again, those mandatory evacuation orders are now lifted. And we are here on Trabuco Canyon Road, which just reopened to traffic. So we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Hetty, thank you so much. Don't forget, you can track the storm anytime with our NBCLA app. It gives you direct access to our First Alert radar network so you can monitor conditions in your neighborhood. You can also sign up for customizable weather alerts. Welcome back. Here's a live look outside Universal City, plus our First Alert radar network. We have been tracking rain all day today, bringing flooding and mud flows to parts of Southern California. Coming up at 6:15, our Macy Jenkins is going to join us live in Altadena, where rain flooded out some roads there.
Well, police are looking for the person responsible for shooting and killing a man on a Metro bus today. This happened around 2 this afternoon at Normandy and 39th in Exposition Park. One man was shot. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition, where police tell us he died. They are currently looking for that shooter.
And we have new details tonight in the murder of a 9-year-old missing girl from Lompoc. The Santa Barbara County District Attorney has charged Ashley Buzzard with the murder of her daughter, Melody. Melody was reported missing 2 months ago. She was last seen with her mother in October near the Colorado-Utah border. Yesterday, authorities announced that hikers had found Melody dead in rural Utah earlier this month. Deputies arrested Buzzard yesterday morning and say she shot and killed Melody. She is set to be arraigned in Santa Maria on Friday.
Are continuing our coverage of this holiday storm, where evacuation warnings are in effect for dozens of homes in the Altadena area.
NBC4's Macy Jenkins is live at one particular intersection dealing with a lot of mud. Macy.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base.
Hi, Carolyn and Kathy. Well, we've seen the rain slack up significantly within the last an hour to 90 minutes, I would say. But here along East Loma Alta Drive, there are LA County work dozer trucks that are stationed here along the hill just in case we see what happened earlier. Take a look at this video. It was taken earlier this morning into the afternoon. There was a very intense mud flow situation where the mud was flowing very quickly down the hill, pushing over the K-rail that was put in place months ago. Now, this area is under an evacuation warning due to, again, that possible mud and debris flow. The warning stretches from La Cañada Flint Ridge to Arcadia. It includes parts of Altadena, Pasadena, and Sierra Madre. Now, they were able to get that mud flow under control, but decided to leave the trucks stationed here. I spoke to one of the crew members. He said that they finally finished up when the rain finally stopped. I spoke to one man here in Altadena who has been making repairs to his home ever since the Eaton fire destroyed his roof. Take a listen.
Yes, I was prepared because of the fact that we had the rain earlier this year, and it kind of let us know that, okay, don't take it for granted, it's coming. And so I had to put some gutters on my house to make sure it wouldn't flood the basing of the house, so it washed off down the street. So I did that, came out okay, and right now we just kind of have to go with the punches. There's probably more coming, but I'm going to be all right. I'm going to see relatives. Rain or sunshine, I'm going.
Now, that LA County crew member I spoke to says these trucks will be here until at least 10 p.m. tonight, just in case anything else picks up. LASD advising anyone who plans to be out on the road to proceed with caution and look out for flooded areas and other things that could be hazardous because, again, you don't have visibility here at night. That's the very latest. Reporting live here in Altadena, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
Macy, thank you. In Long Beach, Public Works crews worked overtime clearing drains and sweeping up palm fronds that often cause drains to get clogged. But even with all that rain and concerns about flooding, not everything came to a stop today. A holiday 5K, 10K, and 15K race went on as planned, with dozens of runners powering through the rain to reach the finish line.
The wind was beating me, but we got it done.
Oh, this storm is no joke. I mean, I pushed myself. I signed up for a 5K, and I decided to do 15K. So I just want to push my limits, and that's what we did.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
Well, meantime, Long Beach city officials say crews will remain on standby overnight, monitoring water levels and responding to any flooding issues as they come up.
Well, this storm certainly more of a rainmaker for us, but in Mammoth Mountain, they report getting 2 feet of snow today. You can see Santa digging out. Mammoth is open, but most of the lifts were closed. Meanwhile, closer to home, skiers and snowboarders will have to wait a few days to enjoy any fresh powder here. Mountain High and Bear Mountain are both closed today and tomorrow. They are expected to open back up Friday for snow tubing and ski chair rides.
All right, looking live from Long Beach, a heads up during the storm. The LA County Public Health Department is advising you to avoid all contact with bodies of water here, especially near storm drains, creeks, and rivers. This is because of potentially higher bacteria levels. So let's get the latest on the storm. Meteorologist Kelly Moody is back with your first alert forecast. Kelly.
Thanks, Kathy. And that's important advice to heed because you think of all the runoff from this storm system. That is all heading out toward the oceans, and that is going to create an issue in terms of that potential for pollution. We continue to see some scattered showers hanging out mostly over towards San Bernardino County. We're not seeing much in the way of snowfall, but we do have one little pocket where we're seeing kind of a wintry mix, making that transition along the 2 into Wrightwood. Still, this is mostly all about rain. We continue to see rain coming down in areas toward Crestline, Lake Arrowhead, Running Springs. This is where we also still have that flash flood warning in effect. That will be with us until 8 o'clock, at least the portion of it that is expected to last the longest. We're getting drier. It's still damp, but we're taking some breaks as we head into tonight. Still windy, too. I expect it to be a cool morning as we start tomorrow. Then we'll continue to welcome in some scattered showers. We took a nice break, though, in terms of timing for when Santa can come down, drop off his presents, and then tomorrow morning you get to enjoy unwrapping them while that rain continues outside. Unfortunately, you won't have much time to run outside and play with those toys because we expect once again widespread rain that could be heavy at times. Let's track this out for you. As we continue into this evening, we continue to just see some spotty showers. Waking up tomorrow morning early, if you're an early riser trying to get to those presents, I expect still some spotty showers. The next band of rain looks to come through parts of Ventura County as we look ahead around 10 a.m., continuing to push on through into Los Angeles County as we make it to the afternoon. From there, we continue to pull on moisture from the coast, bringing in more and more widespread rain through the evening hours, and then continue to watch that moisture just sort of continuously hit the Los Angeles area into Friday morning, continuing into Friday afternoon, starting to push off a little bit farther to the east toward the Inland Empire and into Orange County at that point. And then eventually we will start to dry things out. Some updated rainfall amounts for you, looking at over 4.5 inches for Santa Paula, over 3.5 inches for Van Nuys, over 3 inches for Ventura, over 2 inches. Where was that? Hang on. Wait for it. For Corona, got a little ahead of myself, and over 1.5 inches in Laguna Hills. We are continuing to work with strong gusty winds as well, with the high wind warning and wind advisory continuing to remain in effect until tomorrow at 3 p.m. Gusty winds, wet weather. I mean, this has just not been a great combination. We're going to keep chances for rain around through Saturday. Things dry out after that point. They also warm up. We'll see those temperatures get back up into the 70s as we look ahead toward the middle of next week. That's a similar setup for the valleys and the Inland Empire. I expect that you'll see less of this rain over the next couple of days, but we are going to continue to watch things become a bit more widespread as we look ahead toward Friday. High desert, low desert, doesn't matter where you are, you're getting some of this this rain, and our mountain community is likely to see just a little bit more snow as we look toward the tail end of this system.
New at 6, how about this for a full circle moment for actress, comedian, and South LA native to.
So from the various forecasts, there are still more rains to be coming. So from this evening, tomorrow morning up to like Monday, there will still be rain. So hopefully we will be here back to be giving you updates on the various flooding issues happening in California, because so far some of the roads has been opening again. The evacuation they've also stopped it. So a lot of stuff's happening there, and we hope that we not see a lot of them. We pray that we don't see a lot of happenings around those sections as well. So this is where we end our show this evening. We pray for the victims, and we pray and hope that authorities will be helping the situation, because when you issue evacuation notice, it means they have to get a place to sleep, or they have to get a place to. So we are all praying that they get a place. It's not an easy task, but hey, it's doable. Governor Newsom, I'm sure he and his guys will be able to, and also the security, the fire service, the police, the National Weather Service, everybody over there, I'm sure they will come up together and help solve the situation. We hope that the rains that will be coming, because we have more than like 4 inches of rain coming as well. So tomorrow we'll be here giving you updates on these issues and other developing stories. We had to bring you another one, but hey, it's too late here, so we'll call it a day and come back tomorrow. You are aware. So my name is Wale. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos, so that if there's any updates, you would also get it. Yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow, and see you very soon.